Welcome back to Tyson's TV. I'd like to introduce you to Amy Nyberger Miller. She's with TAPS, and she's here to talk with us today about her program and the benefits that it provides to our community.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for being here. What you do is wonderful. And I was looking at your Facebook page before the interview, and I could see for myself the number of people that you touch and the way that you touch them, and it's just incredible. So what I'd like to share with our viewers today is information about what is TAPS. How did you get started? And what are you doing in the community today, in our community today? So let's start first with your public affairs officer, right, for
Correct.
TAPS. What does TAPS stand for?
TAPS stands for Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, and we're a nonprofit organization that was founded by surviving military families in 1994 following the death of a group of National Guardsmen in a crash in Alaska while they were on a military training mission.
Okay. Now, you're a national organization, right?
Yes, we are. We are a national organization, and our mission is really to provide comfort and care to anyone who's grieving the death of someone who died while serving in the military.
Okay. And you have a personal connection that brought you to TAPS. Can you tell us about that?
I came to TAPS initially in 2007 after my 22-year-old brother, Christopher Nyberger, was killed in action in Baghdad, Iraq during the surge. I initially was looking for help and support for myself, and had actually been kind of mustering along on my own and trying to take care of my grieving family and support other people, and realized that I really wasn't dealing with things on my own very well, and that I really could benefit from talking to other people who had had a similar experience. You know, military loss is very different and it can be very isolating. And so for me, it was really important to call TAPS and talk to another sister who had also lost her brother, and find a community of other siblings who were there, who were grieving the death of a brother or sister in service to our country. And these were people who understood me, who understood what I had gone through, who understood what I was trying to deal with as I coped with my loss, and really were just there to support me in that journey. And that was something that was really special and important for me.
Yeah. So TAPS connects people who have similar issues, similar relationships and people that they have lost?
We do. We have a very active peer mentoring program where we'll pair up, say, a mother with another mother who also lost her child in service to our country. And we might also match them around branch of service, so it might be an Army mom with an Army mom, and even circumstance of loss. So for example, if the son died by suicide, we'll match that mom up with another mom who's also grieving the loss of her son by suicide, so they can companion each other together. And those peer mentors are trained to support each other in a positive way and to really be there for that person who's more newly bereaved. You know, a mentor is actually someone who's been on this journey for a couple of years already. You know, somebody who understands, and somebody who, when they actually say to you, you know, tomorrow the sun's still going to come up and things are going to get better and things will improve, you can really believe them. You know, I think a lot of times our society does not understand how long a traumatic loss like that can take families to recover from. You know, it takes on average about 5 to 7 years for people to reach a new normal after going through a traumatic loss, and that's a long time for people. And often the other people around them in their lives aren't sure how to support them or don't fully understand what they're coping with. And so giving them a safe place and a community of other people who've also suffered a similar loss really helps people, I think, learn how they can step forward again in their lives.
Yeah, you had mentioned to me earlier that you yourself, after experiencing the loss of your brother, it took you some time. And so you came to TAPS first to receive service, and now you're working for TAPS and you're out talking about what TAPS does throughout the country, right?
I do. I work at a national level with TAPS, and you know, it definitely has been a blessing and a privilege to get to do that and to support so many families in sharing our stories and sharing about our organization and all the work that we do to help families figure out their next steps.
So what is your funding source? How do you receive funds to do what you do?
Well, we are an independent nonprofit organization, and so we receive all our funding through the generosity of the public and from companies and other organizations that hold fundraisers, that make private contributions and pledges, that want to show that they care for these families who've paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Yeah. And one of the fundraisers that you've just recently been involved in is through the Tysons Chamber of Commerce. How did you hook up with the Tysons Chamber of Commerce?
I believe that they actually called us and said that they were organizing this race and they wanted to connect with us. And we actually have a very extensive running program, our TAPS Run and Remember team, where people can run races in memory of our fallen loved ones. And we have a number of survivors who participate in that, and it's very therapeutic. And even my own mother at age 60 has been running marathons in memory of my brother who died. But we also have a lot of other people in the community, just people who care about our families, who want to show that they remember and honor these people who sacrificed so much for their country. And so, for us, this was just a very natural fit because, we, love working in that area, to have a run in memory of the fallen, and also something that raises funds and support, too, to help other families coming to us for support and care really is special.
This was neat because this was a local event that people could participate in and support TAPS. But I saw on your Facebook, like I said, you're a national organization, and so there are lots of ways that you support people all across the country. One of the interesting things I saw on your Facebook page was that you have on Fridays something special you do on Facebook. Tell us about that.
Well, we post an inspirational quote every Friday. And actually a few weeks ago, we began asking our audience if they would like to contribute quotes and make suggestions for that. And we've gotten some wonderful suggestions, and many people find that to be very inspiring. Because I think a lot of times people think our families are kind of forever trapped in the image that people see from our funerals of families dressed in black, receiving folded flags, and they're very sad.
Yes.
And you don't really know what happens to them. Where does their story go? And what you find is there's all these values underneath that often help those families step forward in their lives again. And with an organization like TAPS, we're able to do that with care and support. And so our quotes, I think, kind of exemplify a lot of those values of service and sacrifice for our country.
Yeah, I'd like to share an example of one. This was Words for Friends Friday, just after the Boston Marathon bombings. And it says, despite the hardships and tragedies that our country has faced, remember the words of General Douglas MacArthur, Americans never quit. Keep going, America. Lend a hand, help a neighbor, ask for help, give your time, and just keep going. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, and I'm sure that that Friday after the Boston Marathon bombings, that gave a lot of support and inspiration to a lot of people. So you also do something special on Thursdays. What's that?
We do what's called Thankful Thursday, where we highlight an organization or a special person who supported our efforts, and just say thank you. I think that that's really important for us to do, and it also lets us highlight lots of different ways that people support TAPS and support our organization, whether that's through running or through fundraising or through volunteering in the office and helping out. There's just so many great ways that people can give back to help families of the fallen.
Yeah, there really is so much kindness in what your organization does. It's beautiful. You've got an event coming up in the summer, or Memorial Day weekend.
Just a few weeks away, actually.
Okay. What is the event?
It's the TAPS National Military Survivor Seminar and Good Grief Camp. Okay. And it's a huge event involving more than 2,000 people here in the Crystal City area, hosted here in Northern Virginia. And we will have families here from all over the country who've lost loved ones in service to our country. And those families will be able to go to workshops on coping with grief and loss, support group time, and they'll also get to go to events that honor their loved ones who died, being part of the National Memorial Day concert. The children at our Good Grief Camp will be paired up with a mentor who is someone who served in the military, who's active duty usually, who really helps that child feel that connection back to their military family that is usually lost at the time of the death, and really helps them understand as well how our country honors those who've served and died. You know, our families are connected to a national legacy that our country's always had of people who've given their lives for freedom and to protect all of us. And I think it's can be a very hard thing to realize that a child is carrying that legacy just as adults do too. But I think what we can give families is a way to draw strength from that. And also we help them find coping skills for coping with their loss long after camp and our seminars are over. Our seminars are very safe places full of hugs and support and lots of great things that help families, I think through how they're moving forward again in their lives. But what we're also giving them are tools to help them connect later after the event, so that when a day is hard, there's someone to call, there's someone to connect with, there's somebody else who understands. And we're also helping them identify what those feelings are that they're going through and what's the healthy way to cope with that. And how can you address those things as a family? And that's something that we're helping families step forward again toward. You know, and that's something that I think a lot of times people don't realize is, you know, there is a lot of strength in that reemergence out of loss, that you see people grow and change.
Do you find a certain age group of children that really need your support more?
I think all of the children that come into our organization need care and support. You know, we offer our Good Grief Camp program for children ages 4 through 18, but we also have childcare provided for children under age 4, so that their mothers can go and attend the support groups and other workshops and things. And you know, many of these children are growing up without a very strong memory of their parent who died. Or you may have children in a family group where older children in the family have some memories of their loved one who died, but the younger children don't. And so, you know, we often are helping families work through those kinds of things and really giving them a safe place to work through those things. You know, children are a lot like adults and families in that they're concerned about their surviving parent. They don't want to upset the person who's there still after the loss. And so often they will bottle things up. Just as adults will do that too, because we all want to protect each other from that loss. We don't want to hurt each other. And so as a result, we all carry these pieces of it with us for very long periods of time. And sometimes that can be detrimental. And so what we give people at our camps and our seminars is a way to express those feelings that come out and for them to connect with others who share that experience.
Amy, what you do is wonderful. Congratulations to TAPS. I think that you provide an exceptional service and wonderful support. We thank you for what you do in the community, and we hope that those watching today will get interested in what you do and perhaps check out your website. And what's the website if people want to get more information?
Our website is www.taps.org. And you can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TAPS, TAPS, the number 4, America.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. It's nice talking to you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next month on Tyson's TV.